You want to know the real secret to building wealth. It's not about luck, inheritance, or some get-rich-quick scheme. The truth is far simpler and far more boring than that. The wealthiest people in the world share something in common. They've mastered the art of doing things that nobody notices. These are habits so unglamorous, so utterly dull, that most people never even consider them. But if you're serious about building real wealth, you need to adopt these 7 boring habits starting today. And if you want more videos breaking down the real psychology of money and success, subscribe to the channel right now, because this is the kind of content that actually changes lives. The first habit is waking up early. I know, it sounds painfully obvious, but here's what makes it powerful. While everyone else is sleeping, you're already moving. You're not waking up at 6 or even 5:30. You're getting up at 4 or 4:30 in the morning. This gives you 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted time before the world demands anything from you. Billionaires like Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson all swear by the early morning routine. In those quiet hours before dawn, you can exercise, plan your day, read, or work on your side project. Most people never see this happen. They have no idea you're already 3 hours ahead of them before they pour their first cup of coffee. That's the boring magic of it. The second habit is tracking every single expense. This one feels tedious, and that's exactly why most people avoid it. But knowing where your money goes is the foundation of wealth building. You need to write down or log every purchase, every subscription, every coffee. After 30 days, you'll see patterns that shock you. Most people waste hundreds of dollars monthly on things they forgot they even subscribed to. When you track expenses, you're not restricting yourself. You're simply becoming aware. And awareness leads to better decisions. Nobody will ever know you're doing this. There's no status in it. But your bank account will feel the difference. The third habit is reading for at least 1 hour every single day. Not scrolling social media, not watching videos, real reading. Books about business, psychology, history, investing. Warren Buffett reads between 500 and 1,000 pages every single day. Bill Gates reads about 50 books per year. These are people worth billions of dollars, and they treat reading like a non-negotiable part of their routine. Each book is like paying a small tuition to learn from someone else's decades of experience. The compound effect of reading that much information is staggering, but nobody sees it. Nobody applauds you for finishing a chapter. Yet over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the knowledge you accumulate becomes unbeatable. The fourth habit is building multiple streams of income. This doesn't mean starting 10 businesses tomorrow. It means being intentional about creating income from more than just your job. Maybe it's a side project you work on for 5 hours a week. Maybe it's rental income, dividend income from investments, or selling digital products online. The wealthy rarely depend on a single paycheck. When you have multiple income streams, you're not devastated if one fails. You're also not trapped. The person who has 2 income sources has more freedom than the person with 1. And again, nobody needs to know about it. You don't need to brag about your side hustle or announce your investments to the world. The fifth habit is saying no to almost everything. This is the anti-glamorous side of success that people rarely discuss. For every yes, you're saying no to 5 other things. If you say yes to attending that party, you're saying no to 2 hours of deep work on your business. If you say yes to a low-paying client, you're saying no to finding a high-value client. The wealthy are ruthless with their time and energy. They say no to things that don't align with their goals, and they do it without guilt or explanation. Most people have no idea how often you're declining opportunities, requests, and social invitations. They might even think you're antisocial, but what they don't see is how that selectiveness frees you to focus on what actually matters. The sixth habit is automating your finances. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account the moment you get paid. Automate your bill payments. Automate your investment contributions. This removes the emotion and the friction from saving and investing. Once you automate it, you don't have to think about it anymore. Your brain gets used to a lower spending amount because that money never sits in your checking account tempting you. Most millionaires have automated their financial lives to the point where they barely think about money on a daily basis. It's all running in the background. Nobody notices this either. There's no achievement badge for automating a transfer. And the seventh habit is continuous learning and skill development. Not just reading, but actually developing skills that increase your earning power. Maybe it's learning to code, learning to write, learning to sell, learning to lead. You invest time, and sometimes money, into becoming genuinely better at something valuable. This might mean taking courses online, hiring mentors, or investing in certifications. Over time, your skills become your competitive advantage. People with rare, valuable skills command higher prices for their work. But this habit is boring because it requires showing up day after day, often with no immediate feedback or reward. There's no applause while you're learning. There's only the slow, steady accumulation of capability. Here's what ties all of these habits together. They're all invisible. There's no social media clout in waking up early or tracking your expenses. You don't get likes for reading in your living room or for automating your savings account. You don't get validation for saying no to things. These habits seem boring because they don't produce dopamine hits. They don't give you an instant sense of accomplishment. They just work. Over months and years, they compound into real wealth. The person who does these 7 things for the next decade will be in a completely different financial position than someone who doesn't. But there's no way for the world to see it happening. That's the real secret. Wealth isn't built through flashy moves and viral moments. It's built through boring, consistent habits that you do when nobody's watching. If this video provided value for you, please like it right now. Liking videos help us reach more people who are serious about building real wealth instead of chasing empty status. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 7 habits are you already doing? And which one are you most committed to starting this week? Your answer might inspire someone else watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we create content every single week about the hidden habits of successful people. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.